we warn you first with Chief Meteorologist Chase Menendez.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Halloween. We are dealing with a little bit of fog, a lot of changes coming our way to the forecast. Fort Stockton, a tiny bit foggy, 9-mile visibility out of a clear 10. But notice off to our west outside of Carlsbad, that's where we're seeing some reduced visibility. Earlier, these numbers were down into the 2s, especially in southeast New Mexico, because of that cold front that we're seeing and because of all that rain, really keeping our humidity high, good enough to give us some fog. Now, we've also got that cold front on our hands, and that's really doing a number to our temperatures. 84 degrees was our high temperature yesterday, but today's high temperature, 61 degrees. Now, if that feels a little bit off to you, if it felt colder this afternoon, I don't blame you. That temperature was actually at midnight. Today's one of those weird days where we actually just continually drop down to our low, which will be occurring around 11 p.m. tonight as temperatures drop down into the 40s. 49 degrees here for Odessa Midland will be our low. And if you need any more proof that we've got a cold front on our hands, check this out. Lots of purple indicating some very cold temperatures. Odessa Midland dropping down by 31 degrees over this time yesterday, and pretty easy to see where that cold front is set up across the country, making its way through Texas right now and bringing a lot of rain as well. Behind that cold front, got a lot of instability, a lot of moisture, a lot of convection, all big fancy buzzwords meaning thunderstorm chances, and we're certainly seeing most of those thunderstorms actually hugging the I-10 corridor. Most of that south of I-10 for now. The basin actually looking fairly clear. Earlier today we did get a lot of drizzle for a long period of time, so there may be a few roads that are a little bit flooded left over from that rainfall, and we've got more on the way, as you can see out to the west, as most of this tracks to the east. Now, here in Odessa Midland, again, we're clear of rain for now. You may encounter a little bit of light drizzle, but for the most part, we've got some light showers coming our way from the west. South of I-10, though, that's where we're seeing some pretty significant thunderstorms. Lots of lightning strikes with that, but thankfully, no hail cores. We're not looking at any hail storms anywhere in West Texas. And now, as these storms do track off to the east, they are going to intensify a little bit. Fort Stockton getting a pretty good amount of rain overall. I do anticipate a little bit of flooding out there, but we don't have any watches or warnings, advisories, or anything like that to show for any of this rain. So we should be in the clear there, at least according to the National Weather Service, and I tend to agree with them. Now, as far as Halloween goes, trick-or-treating is going to be very cold. You saw that temperature drop off by about 30 degrees here for Odessa Midland. That will put us in the 40s when it's time to trick-or-treat. It's also going to be very wet, so if your costume includes rain boots or a jacket, I would think that's a good idea, too. And if your costume doesn't include those things, maybe think about it. Princesses, skeletons, we all wear jackets from time to time, so that is a good thing to keep in mind. Now, as we go on through the night tonight, we're actually pretty much out of the woods as far as those strong thunderstorms go. This model really showing those storms ramping up in intensity in the next hour, but it has been showing that for the past several model runs, so I don't really have a whole lot of faith in those very strong storms making their way into Terrell County, but for the most part, I do think we could see a little bit more thunderstorm activity developing as it tracks off to the east to places like Terrell County, Dryden, maybe even Big Lake, seeing a couple of thunderstorms before the night is done, but our window is rapidly closing. By 8 p.m., notice very clear conditions of rain. While we still have a little bit of cloud cover and a little bit of shower activity remaining, we're not dealing with those thunderstorm conditions even as early as 8 p.m. Now, going further into the evening time, we could see a couple of isolated showers in the overnight time, especially here in Odessa Midland, but once we get to tomorrow afternoon, notice even by 9 a.m., we're already starting to clear up very nicely. So that is in the mix. Now, we did have this marginal risk issued by the Storm Prediction Center earlier today, still staying in place for the next several hours, but I think our window for those strong, possibly even severe thunderstorms is rapidly closing. If we do get anything, it's going to be south of I-10, places like Terrell County, Dryden, Big Bend, likely to be in the path of those. Now, we've got a small 30% chance to see rain tomorrow, and that really refers to just rain lingering after midnight here in Odessa Midland. Tomorrow, temperatures recover nicely. 62 degrees, the high there, 71 on Friday. That'll lead us to a real nice weekend.
All right. So, Chase, for parents on their way out right now to take their kids trick-or-treating, thumbs up, we're good to go.
Thumbs up, we're good to go. Wear a jacket, stay warm, have some hot soup ready to go when you get back. But Odessa, I think we're in the clear as far as thunderstorms go.
Well, like you said, princesses, skeletons, they wear jackets too. So if your mom asks you to put on a jacket, I would listen to her.
There you go.
All right, Chase, thank you.